everyone, and welcome back to the Craft Moment. As you know, we've been going through the armor of God, and today is our last piece of the armor, the sword of the Spirit. So of course, we have to make a sword. I'm going to show you a couple of different versions of swords made from cardboard. So the most important thing you're going to need for this craft is a nice piece of cardboard. This is a good flat one I found in a box that I got. Another great idea is to either take a box apart or to tear off the lid. That's what this is from an Amazon box. If you don't have any boxes at your house that you can use, you might wait until recycling day in your neighborhood, and sometimes people will set boxes out by their curb to be picked up, so that's a thought. So any kind of cardboard is going to work. Now, let me show you my swords. I made one where the blade is covered with just regular duct tape. So if you have some regular duct tape at home, you can find that. And then I also made a version where the blade is covered with aluminum foil. So this one is really pretty and shiny, and you also can do some almost engraving with a pencil in the blade. This one would be more if you want something cool to set in your room. This one would be more if you want to take it outside and play with it. You also, I'm not going to show you this, but if you want your sword to be extra strong, you could cut out 2 of the shapes or even 3 and glue them together, because the stronger you make the cardboard, the better if you want to play with it. So you could cut them out and glue multiple layers together if you want to do that. I'm just going to show you how to make one layer today. So start out with your piece of cardboard. We're going to make the easiest sword shape possible. Of course, you can get creative and make other versions. So I'm going to just cut a long strip out of my cardboard. I'm going to make this first one 3 inches wide. So this is about the shape that, it would have been a little bit longer, but this basic shape is what a Roman soldier would have used. As you know, there's lots of different kinds of swords, right? So if you have a big piece of cardboard, maybe you make a huge broadsword, that would be exciting. So I'm just going to cut a big piece. Now you're going to need some really strong scissors for this. Your regular small scissors are probably not going to make it through this. Okay, so there's that piece. This is going to end up being your blade. Now I'm going to cut another piece that's about 1.5 inches wide, and this is going to be the cross guard. All right, so we're going to use that in a minute. And look, I still have extra. I can make another sword with that extra piece. So it doesn't take that much cardboard. So I'm going to just I'm going to cut out a triangle from the end of this piece of cardboard. And that's going to be the point of my blade. So you decide how much of a point you want. Okay? Now, the other end of the sword, we've got to leave a little piece at the top. That piece is called the pommel, by the way. And then we need to cut out enough to make a grip. Now, when I was making this one, I wasn't thinking about playing with it. So I didn't make the grip big enough for my hand. But if you want to make something that you can actually play with, then you need to make your grip bigger, as wide as your hand, so you can get your hand in there. Okay, so you're going to make some cuts just a little bit into each side at the top, okay? And then I'm going to fold that back. This is a little tricky because you have to kind of get your scissors in there. Okay, so I just cut out a rectangle from each side of the cardboard. Okay, now I have my basic sword shape. Now, if you like it like this, you could just leave it. That's totally fine too. But we're going to make it more special. So you can, from here, decorate it and call it good. You can cover the blade with duct tape. A great thing about covering it with duct tape is it makes it really strong. Or I'm going to show you how to cover it with foil so that it's shiny. Okay, so I have a piece of foil here. Just going to lay it out. So I'm going to start at the top of the blade. lay it down. Now the foil's gonna tend to kind of get wrinkly, so you can pull it as tight as you can and use your fingers to smooth it down as best that you can. But it's really hard to get it completely not wrinkly. Okay, so I've folded it over once. I'm gonna fold it again. Now I could just cut the foil and that's fine, but I'm gonna keep using all of my foil here just because it's gonna make my blade stronger. Okay. So when it comes to the end, you can either just cut that off, but I'm going to fold it. I'm gonna take my scissors and cut this extra. I'm gonna use a little piece of duct tape on the end just to make it lay flat. Now, duct tape can be tricky to tear, so you might need some help or you might need some scissors. Okay, I don't want that to show on my front, so I'm gonna cut it off. All right, now, pretty flat, right? That looks good, okay? So now you can decorate the pommel however you want to. I am going to show you how to cover it with duct tape. So just tear off a strip. Now, if you had the fancy kind of duct tape that has patterns, that would look awesome, but this is all that I had. But silver, it kind of looks like metal, right? Okay, so I laid it on the top of the pommel, and now I'm just going to fold it around on each side, okay? Now that part that's sticking up at the top, I'm just gonna cut it off. All right. So for the grip here, you can either just color it. I think it would look awesome if you had some twine. You could wrap twine around it and that would make it stronger. You could wrap duct tape here too. Just get creative, figure out what you like. Okay, so we need to make the cross guard. So get that 1.5 inch strip of cardboard that we cut. So you're gonna fold that in half, okay? Now I am going to use duct tape to attach this. If you're gonna play with your sword, then you need to probably use duct tape or some very strong glue. If you're just making your sword for decoration, then you could probably use Scotch tape. So I'm gonna make a loop of duct tape and put it right at the top of my blade. I'm gonna do that on each side. On that side. Now your cross guard. See if we can get this centered. And push it together. Probably be good to put another piece in there so it doesn't come open. And there you go. So it's really nice looking. Now on this one, I colored the crossguard yellow to make it look like it was gold. On this one, I wrote sword and then used a Sharpie and wrote of the spirit on the blade. So any kind of decorations you can dream up will be wonderful. Let me show you one last thing. If you decided to use aluminum foil on your blade, here's one more cool thing that you can do. Because of the foil, you can make an impression on the foil with just using your pencil. So you can make all kinds of really pretty decorations on the blade of your sword. So just when you write, just push lightly and it pushes into the foil and it looks like it's engraved. So that can kind of make it look like it's a really fancy sword. So there you go. You got a sword of the Spirit that you can either play with or you can use as a decoration in your room to remind you to learn the Word of God so that you'll be ready for the attack of the enemy. Thanks for coming to the craft moment today.